Alrighty then, we are back with some arena. It occurred to me, I don't think you guys have even seen my standard deck I've been playing with now. Um, this one, Tammy Time. It's not like great, but it does have earthbending things. So the idea is to earthbend to super ramp and then like play dinosaurs. That's it. That's the deck. Badgermole Cub is indeed a good card. I think I accidentally went to non-ranked. I did. Ranked. On Thursday, you dropped 2,600 mana on someone on turn 7 with Badgermole Cub. That's pretty gross. I'm definitely not using him to its full potential. Forcing dumb doppelgang infinites. You give me a really silly way to abuse earthbending? Sure. Lose the earthbending lands, they come back and can trigger landfall. Indeed, that is factual. From your Mossborns to sacrificing them that take lands to Bloodghast shenanigans. Wow, that's their third copy of that card. I don't much like that Cecil. I'll try to find my land. Cool. Yeah, it turns out putting out 6-drop dinosaurs on like turn 4 is pretty good. Paw Patch Recruits. I don't think so. Because I don't know what that card is. A rare from Bloomborough. Ah. Not in the deck. I don't know if I have them, period. But, very cheap and efficient threat who can make it a pain to interact with your board. Is he the one that puts +1/+1 counters on something other than the targeted thing? Because I think I've seen other people use it. Ah. He has offspring, so he can be dual purpose later on. Hope here is that I'm going to be able to drop a Agniosaurus Rex next turn. We'll see. It did not happen. Okay, well, if they're going to be no fun allowed, we're going to do some stuff. Rex is better used for cycling anyways. You know, I think that that was the first time I have ever cycled it. What? Ugh. Seeing a lot of play in Eternal formats? Is it a wipety wipe? No. Worth the card draw. This guy has no fear of eating 12 damage. Yeah. Knew the wipe was gonna happen. But, that's why I drew the card. Joke's on you! I only have one copy of each! Yep. I only have one copy of each dinosaur. Partly to showcase many dinosaurs, and partly to screw over this card. Soulstone Sanctuary. I don't. I'm assuming they just took Badgermole. Yeah. That I do have 4 copies of. Manland this deck can have run to punch, no fun allowed. It could be wise. Would you like to counter? Okay. Sometimes you just have to tell them deal with a 3/3.
am the master of this world. I see no
It's Ugin, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum.
vital to success.
I do believe I have lost at this point.
Open your mind to possibility.
It's ranked, but I don't see how I come back. Frenzied Ballast is another nice way green can just come screaming out the gate at people. Yeah, I just figured once he's at 10 life, he's out of, what's it called, range? Frickin' 8 drop, run in every green commander deck. Oh my god. In Foundations, I feel like it starts with a C. I can picture the art. Oh my god, why can't I think of the name? I'm getting so old. Why can't I think of the name of this card? We've been here for so long, you know, we're worried, show up infrequently enough, you're worried you only know me as the guy who asks for hugs. I know you're mostly interested in Magic, Wyatt, which I do less of these days. Because I've been doing the Unplayed series a lot. So it kind of makes sense. Aw. Probably like 5, 6 years ago. Maybe even 7. Sometimes you just need to send 10/10 at someone. Indeed. Yeah, it's true. I'm not gonna need it though, because they're. Oh. I was thinking that they were gonna go ahead and wipe the board, but I guess they're not going to. The Any Day for Arena first release expired. Oh, yeah, so you were like right at the beginning, because that's right when I started streaming. Yay! We got him! Good enough. Yeah. Soulstone Sanctuary, Paw Patch Recruit, and the Rampaging Baloths. Ah, yes. I don't know about this. Slightly better. Um. Aw, thank you so much. Trying to remember the name of the. I could have just gone into the deck and looked for the name of the card. It's the freaking, you know. Oh, it's everything has trample and haste and plus X for how many things you control, creatures you control. It's that card. That's in here. There, I have two copies of it. Craterhoof, thank you. It did start with a C. Craterhoof Behemoth. I don't know why I could not think of the name. I'm getting old. They might wish they had saved that. Oh, it's two or less, not three or less. Could also turn this into a green white as a good excuse to run Regal Bunnicorn. But it's not really. I mean, the way it's built right now, it's not really a go wide deck. It's more of have a bunch of dorks to put out tall things. Why would they use something like that now this early? Eh. Um. Load good few enchantments, which counts for Bunnicorn. I mean, I could fight him. I guess. Get the full 7 through. Especially since I can only. I'm gonna do that too. But I can only attack them this turn because I don't have any other dinosaurs right now. Oh, there's a Galta. Nice. Hmm. I mean, I'm not like against it. I'm legit wondering if I just hold Galta. Because they're dead unless they board wipe anyway. But they do have the net thing. So I'm gonna play it. Yeah. Called the wipe. I haven't leveled up this one. Yeah, it's only one draw. Nope. Just one per. But it's true, I wouldn't have been able to cast it anyway. Because it's 12. So. Yes, some of my best deck ideas I have stolen from opponents who kicked my butt with them. And I'm just like, this is so cool. I said a flood, flood, floodity flood, the flood, flood, floodity flood, 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 floodity flood, a flood, flood, floodity flood, but still wouldn't be able to cast Galta, so I don't know. 8 months left of that fair and balanced card in standard. Which one? Basic forest, because that's all I'm drawing. Oh, yeah. It does kind of seem like control is king right now in standard. Throwing resilient threats at them. What, like, permanents I control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn? Heroic intervention? Is that in standard? Did that get reprinted? Oh, the soulstone. Yeah. Let me see if I have that. Let me see if I can find it, you know? The only reason why I haven't conceded is because I want to see if I draw another land. Might as well. Might as well have. Okay. Yeah, let me see what manlands I can throw in here. There's that unblockable land too that I got a couple of copies of in an Avatar draft. Secret tunnel. Yeah. Um do I have the 3 mana 5/4 dinosaur from Aether Drift in there? I have these two. Soulstone, okay. I have 4 copies of it. Indeed. This. Oh, it seems pretty good. Where your problem is, you don't deliberately read cards. You need them enough to where halfway up in the real game, but you don't need them enough to realize their actual use. Ah, I don't know. I guess it just takes slowing down. Another part of the problem is some people do not like deck building. Like, I know my brother played Magic many years before me, and he quit it in favor of Hearthstone. And he said that building decks is his least favorite part, and that's why he likes in Hearthstone you just like get the meta deck and for your, guild or whatever, and then just do it. There's still fun deck building in Hearthstone, he just skips it. Has to be a lot more of a streamlined process. The thing that I like about Craterhoof, even though it's not a dinosaur, is that it has haste. Frenzied Baloth. Oops. Oh, that might be better, actually. Because the problem with our other friend is that he like never has time to come out, basically. You can't seem to put into words what you're trying to say. You know what this says on paper, but what does it do? I think some of it. Okay, I will also say, Wyatt, that doing that and finding synergies is a lot harder than it used to be in some ways, just because the card pools are so wide. So in some ways it's easier because it's like, oh, there are maybe more potential synergies than before because the card pool is so wide. But on the other hand, the card pool is so wide, it's overwhelming and it's hard to know and remember what every single card does in standard. Maybe I'll drop Gigantosaurus now that I have some colorless lands. Seems like maybe something to do. Ah, try that. Yeah, Arena helps a lot because it handles game flow. But then it can also be a challenge if you're not paying attention to everything Arena is doing for you. Why this turned green? That seems fine. Even the Soulstone Sanctuary? Wait, can I do this right now? Yeah, I can. Raw earthbending doesn't work. Try to dissect one of those pre-made decks that Arena gives you to see how those cards synergize, but you're bored because it feels like a bunch of reading before you play the game. At the same time, you want to get better. So, yeah. Oh yeah, signpost and commons. Those are helpful, particularly for drafting. Yeah. Okay, so let me go into decks here. Trying to find one of the crappy precons. Probably at the bottom. Okay. You can activate Soulstone even after earthbending it. Nice. From what firebending? Yeah, that's why I was saying heroic reinforcements. The firebending seems to be the most broken one. You come to bending types. So like, let's take an example of this precon. I have not edited this at all. This is the precon Might of the Legion that Arena gives you. This is an uncommon, and I would say it's a signpost uncommon. So it's 2, a red, and a white. It's a sorcery, and it creates 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. And until end of turn, creatures you control get +1/+1 and haste. So the best way that this card works is if you already have a bunch of little things out on the board. So we get the idea of this red-white archetype as having a lot of little guys go aggressive. Thus the haste. Did I explain it okay? And you can kind of see some of the other cards in this deck. Like this makes 4 1/1 tokens. This can make 2 goblins. This is another thing that says creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. This is better the more creatures you have out, right? Because that's +1 on each creature, yeah? This is equal to the number of creatures you control. So everything about this deck is saying go wide, go wide, go wide. Making tokens, making more tokens. Target creature gains haste. Aggressive. How do you know what uncommons are considered signpost? Typically, especially in a draft environment, it'll be something that's 2 colors. So let's look at Bloomborough for a second. Oh, do you have a favorite color, Bear? Yeah, the mentors are all great signposts. That's why I picked Bloomborough. So, like, for example, this Plume Creed mentor. It's 2 colors, and it's an uncommon. I think signposts are generally between 3 or 4 mana, sometimes 5. sometimes 2, but generally in the 3 to 4 range in terms of mana cost. And so we see flying. Whenever this creature or another creature you control with flying enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control without flying. So this one seems to care about flyers, which is a common thing for white-blue to care about. But it also is kind of saying, don't run all flyers. So that's a little bit of a departure from like just, oh yeah, just run all flyers, you know? If we take a look at this one, Starseer Mentor, this one's a 5-drop, black-white. It's 3/5, flying and vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained or lost life this turn, target opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent of their choice or discard a card. So, black-white in Bloomburrow cares about gaining and losing life. Legendary creatures can also give you a lot of direction, yeah. Which, hey, gaining life and paying life, right? Tidecaller Mentor. This one is blue-black. When this creature enters, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, return up to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So this is kind of giving you the hint that blue-black is caring about Threshold. Having stuff in your graveyard. I don't know if I have all the mentors. Stormcatch Mentor. This one's a 2-drop. Haste, Prowess, instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Okay, red-blue Spellslinger. Pretty straightforward. Red-black. At the beginning of your second main phase, if an opponent lost life this turn, exile top 2 cards of your library, choose one of them. Until end of turn, you may play that card. So red-black is caring about kind of pushing damage through. Vine Reap Mentor. When this creature enters or dies, create a food token. This one is not as obvious, but there is a black-green mechanic in Bloomburrow, I think it's called Forage, where you can either exile cards from your graveyard or sacrifice a food for things to happen. So it at least says, you know, you care about foods. But yeah, let me switch over to Avatar. I don't know Avatar as well. That's why I wasn't doing Avatar at first, but let's see if I have any signposts. I was gonna say, would you say that these enchantments are decent signposts? Air Nomad Legacy, white blue. When this enchantment enters, create a clue token. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. So again, we care about flying and maybe advantages off drawing cards, which is a blue thing. Hebe says cares about sacrifice. Hey, so does Tolls of War. Also cares about sacrifice. Rares push a direction. So you typically thought uncommon give direction. You thought it was the rare that gives you direction. Rares push a direction, and rares are often upgraded in power. So this, I would say, could be signposty as well. 1 a blue and a red for something that's flying and ward. It's equal to the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. When this creature dies, if there's a lesson card in your graveyard, draw a card. So red-blue, as is often, cares about non-creature spells. Maybe instants and sorceries in particular, especially since lessons tend to be instants and sorceries. It's not a coincidence. These are signposts. Wizards put them there intentionally. Again, we're kind of seeing cards in red white that care about saying, hey, number of creatures you control is important. Yeah. So does all that kind of make sense? And we also see black green when stuff going to the graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter. It helps too that the color pie has things that the colors tend to do, like black green tends to be graveyard payoff. Either, it's good to have things in the graveyard, or it's good to, have things die. Black green cares about +1/+1 counters sometimes, tends to have reanimators sometimes, all that good stuff. I think, there's a lot of people who just kind of pick magic up and they aren't necessarily taught it. So, and they only really started to do signposts in 2019. Yeah. Which honestly, that's only a few years after I started playing Magic at all. Hi, DMK. How's it going? I hope you are well. I think what I'm gonna do is Earthbender Ascension just to get another forest. So in a way, the uncommon slot is an important slot. Yeah. Playing your blue-white deck for Quest. Could have played Cub into Ascension. How would that have worked? I would have spent my only green. Would this have been able to tap for a color? Oh, I did not realize. Interesting. Anything that makes mana. Yeah, that's why I have mana dorks in here. My hope is I can overwhelm them before they get to board wipe mana. Tough luck, they're both creatures. You've tried learning how to pick up card games intuitively. You have this one friend who's been playing various TCGs since they were 6, and they're very good at any game they touch. Felt both of you give your first answer that was more than just get good. Yeah. Turn Soulstone into a creature, it has vigilance, and can then cast after combat. Nice. Very nice. Well, I also want to point out, too, Wyatt, that I had my version of this deck, and then Super Base was like, oh, here's some suggestions for ways you could make it better. Like, it can sometimes help to have other people's opinions. Yeah, peer review helps a ton. Exactly. Ugh. You'll find in a lot of no fun allowed matches, just being able to call your land base to finish the job is super nice. Hmm. Just give it a hug. Oh, hugs, of course. Ah, it's the old guard. Enjoy the game. The best hug you can give. Hello, Bristly Bill. So I'm trying to tell you earlier today that net decking is the way you ruin Magic. Hmm. I don't know if that's the case. There was a fun trick I could do. To use both Hunter's talents and kill the Tifa. It doesn't. Does it? I don't think it gets. I don't think it gets vigilance. It only gains vigilance after I do the 4 mana. I think. Maybe a silly nanny. Oh, what's up? You have a deck you made years ago in Arena that might be a little too complicated. You want to see how well I do with it. Let me see. Historic format? Oh, I really don't like historic. That Massborn may soon be an issue. Yeah. Especially if I do not get lands. Historic is trash. Yeah, it's fine, just not for you. He only tries to try and tell people how to enjoy the game. Um, um, historic, super base. They changed historic to be with the alchemy cards. That's why I don't play it anymore. Because they have a separate thing that's Pioneer. Um, how much do I need to live? Go to 1. Yeah, they also poison Brawl, yeah. Look up Poison Dart Frog. Yes. I'm familiar with Poison Dart Frog. The fact that it can get, the fact that it can get, Death Touch too is pretty good, though. And I have 4 copies of it. It has Reach too. One of your decks, you're allowed to play with the unchanged Luminarch Aspirant. So you don't think they force alchemy anymore? Oh. Maybe they changed it. That was why I quit playing Historic. Was because I was tired of seeing the alchemy cards. And, having cards nerfed and everything. I think that's actually the part of that annoys me about alchemy the most is that they can rebalance cards afterward, and it's probably another reason why I'll never get into Hearthstone. I understand that, you're trying to be helpful, but like no. I've learned the card the way that it works. Don't make me relearn the card that I've already learned. Yeah, just ban them. Random humor for Hearthstone. We had to deal with 2 of the most extreme in the cast of There is no fixing this ever. Oh? Again, Greymane and Baku the Moon Eater. Again, it's a 6-mana 6/5 with starter game. If your deck has only even cost cards, your hero power costs 1 this game. Oh. Baku is 9-mana 7/8 with starter game. If your deck only has odd cards, you get a better hero power this game. You mean the secret tunnel? Oh. Oh. Cool. Veto life gain. Every time you gain, the opponent would kill themselves. It synergizes really well with Soul Warden. Yeah. Pick up a lot of the black-white stuff from Foundations. They want to encourage that style. Yeah, that's a good idea. Secret Tunnel, you have the dang song going through your head? I don't know what the Secret Tunnel song is. You watch that one episode of Avatar? Watch that one. I've seen Avatar, I just don't remember it. Sing the exact song for you word for word. Boomerang Basics doesn't work on lands. Well, I'm gonna make the attempt. People tried to laugh at you and said Grand Grand's probably the best card in Magic right now. Yeah. Card was in 6 of the 8 World Championship decks. Double rainbow all the way across the sky. Yeah, yeah, so intense. Double rainbow all the way across the sky. Kill me if you're gonna, I do not care anymore. I kind of like migrating Ketrodon. Gaining life. Well, they obviously have another copy of Gran Gran. Oh, they can just kill my big thing too. Alright, well. Nice. Um, what do you think? Hold mana up for Death Touch? That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. Person who won the whole event was allowed a significant number of takebacks. I would. Oh, yeah, that's true. Sanctuary was the only card run in the top 8 of Worlds more than the Storm Chases. Well, assuming I survive, which I'm not, the play is Sanctuary Elves. And then pump it, but I'm dead, so. Alright, well, I think that's enough to make me quit magic for the day. Let me see if I can find someone to raid. Because that was pretty freaking miserable. Toodles, DMK. Is there somebody that you would be interested in raiding? Otherwise, I'll probably just raid Funny Godmother. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Please be sure to stay safe out there, and have a good one. Pardon. Two lovers forbidden from one another. War divides their people. Mountain divides them apart. But it built a path together. Some other stuff I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure Super knows what comes next. Secret tunnel, through the mountain, secret tunnel. Always funny. Very Godmother.